first and foremost, before we get into the sex part, because this live stream is going to be all things sex, right? And when I say all things sex, I'm speaking our relationship with sex that then attaches us to other people that may or may not be working in our own best interest. Let me say that again. Our relationship with sex. Some of us have a toxic relationship with sex. Some of us have a beautiful and a phenomenal relationship with sex. But it is all encompassing because one way or another, you are attracted in some way, shape, or form sexually, and then it affects your judgment in a positive or a negative way. It just is what it is. It's real. Hold on one second. All right, so before we even deep dive into the sexual aspect of things, I just have a question because this is something that I keep seeing on my timeline on Instagram. Sometimes I see it on YouTube, and I understand that a lot of people repurpose a lot of my interviews and they repurpose some of the interviews that I do on other people's platforms. And one of the things that I said in an interview is there is no glory in being a stepfather. And boy, oh boy, do I get so much pushback and feedback. And I've never seen so many men looking to validate a bad decision that they made or to get validation from other women about why it is that you should become a stepfather. I am very perplexed about that. I am so perplexed about the advocating for being a stepfather that it is starting to bother me and I'm starting to lose sleep. Not because I'm wrong, but because I cannot believe that there's so many people that's willing to throw themselves under the bus for somebody that they do not know, and then they find out that they put themselves at a disadvantage financially and they get nothing out of it in return. I just cannot believe that there's so many men that are willing to throw themselves under the bus for the sake of validation from society and from another woman. And I'm trying to figure out who raised y'all and who put that in y'all. Your values, your morals, your ethics, the reason why you do the things that you do on a regular basis, that comes from somewhere. Nobody just inherently wakes up and they are who they are and they just automatically believes a certain way. Everything that you know, everything that you experience, it's a comparison against your life experiences versus learned behaviors. So at what point did we start advocating for and having a conversation where we're pushing people, men or women, but especially men, because I can only speak from a man's perspective, where did we start and where did we go wrong to where we started validating bad behavior from somebody by saying that it's okay to be a stepfather? I'm just genuinely curious. I have no idea where y'all got that from. I am very, very confused as to why y'all push that on people. If that is what you decide to do, then that is what you decide to do. But don't you ever, in no way, shape, or form, sit here and open up your mouth and tell somebody that it is okay for them to put themselves behind the eight ball by sleeping with, marrying, and then making yours something that is inherently not yours. That is not your child. That is not your seed. That is not even your woman that you are repurposing in order to call her your girlfriend, your friend, or your wife. If you want to save the community, if you want to put yourself behind the eight ball, if you want to call yourself a step baby daddy, if you want to go and get adoption papers for somebody else's kid that is not yours, don't look like you, have never been a part of you, and you want to try to imprint upon them like you, the wolf and Twilight, then by all means, nobody is stopping you, and there is always going to be a simp around the corner that will make up the worst decision or will make validate themselves by making the worst decision that they ever made in their entire life. It's hard enough finding a woman here in 2023 going into 2024 that can exhibit all of the levels and the qualities of being a wife, and you think that is good to even go further down the rabbit hole for a woman that has children, probably don't even have a relationship, a good relationship at that, with the father of her child, and then you're coming in with no children to then validate the behavior. And again, I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do, but I'm telling you, why would you advocate for doing something bad as far as doing it the reverse or outside of the purpose or the way that it was supposed to go in the first place? Why do we keep retrofitting and remixing the right way to go about do things? I wouldn't even recommend a guy that went out there and had children with another woman go out and be a step baby daddy. Not because he can't do what he do, but because I wouldn't advocate somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I wouldn't do it. If I wouldn't do it, why would I recommend you do it? I don't even teach that from a financial perspective. Everything that I speak on, even when I'm giving a recommendation, people ask me all the time, Anton, what is your stock pick? What do you think about investing in this company or whatever, so on and so forth? I give you my thoughts, and then I don't even tell you what to do. I say, listen, make sure that you go and consult your financial advisor, or you do your own research because you have your own relationship with this company and your own insight and information and understanding and things that you need to learn about that company. But let me tell you what I did. And then I preface the conversation by saying that I am not vested in this country, or I did invest in this country, and here are the reasons why. But I am not recommending that you do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So if I would not become a step baby daddy, why would you then recommend somebody, or better yet, why would I be prompted to or held accountable to recommending somebody to go and become a step baby daddy for somebody that I would never even consider doing that to or doing that for? There are so many stories of men that are having problems with women that they chose that didn't have children before they got with them or got married. And we can't even solve for that. And so if we can't even get people to be able to vet effectively and to be able to look at a woman and be able to tell whether or not she's actually a wife without children, why would I advocate you go out here? And then worse off, it then validates behavior because it tells women subconsciously that it's okay for you to leave the man that you decided to open up your legs and have children with to the man that you then said, I do until death do us part. And then I'm telling you to go out here and validate the behavior, because what it does is it empowers her and it gives her incentive the same way that the government incentivized y'all to be able to leave y'all homes through divorce. It's the same way that the government incentivizes through simps you leaving and then going into and taking care of something that somebody should be responsible for that you have nothing to do with. I would never advocate somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. What kind of ignorant, irresponsible advice are y'all giving out here in these people? And this is why it's important for us to take into consideration the source. Why would somebody recommend you do that? Why, and on God's green earth, of all of the things that they can recommend that you do, why would they tell you to pick up pieces they ain't picking up?